is Alvandor and Canthic, and the players are ready, so let's jump into game. So Wind Soldier, Soul Drain, Flash Wind. I'm getting the tell that Arianelle is playing archers. Whether it's Windborn Champions or Celis Crusaders we'll we'll see in a bit. And from Matthew, it's Green Yellow Sack
Green Yellow Sack with
with
Last
Last
Nightmare.
Nightmare. Yeah,
Oh.
I guess that's a good point to add in, which means it's probably mostly a yellow base.
I don't think so. Like we've seen this before, and it's normally just they want some extra late game.
Well,
Um,
I think out of most of the ones I see with Last Nightmare, we see Deathwish Ghouls, and Deathwish Ghoul is normally a card that some of the other ones cut. Though, as of today, we've seen Deathwish Ghoul in every single one. Oh, okay, it's 3 wishes.
oh
Interesting. So,
yeah,
multiple 3 land cost requirement cards. A 3 Mountain Firestorm, a 3 Desert Last Nightmare. Interesting.
do you think yes, Soul Eater?
Oh, I don't know actually.
I know that Aquablad tried that at some point. So watching his stream, I think it was a bit too much late game.
Yeah. I've seen, Thormund had a really good sack list that I think he was running with 3 wishes. Like his old 3 wish sack deck, I think it had
Yeah,
Firestorm and Last Nightmare.
when Three Wish had just come out.
Yeah, and he didn't run Soul Eater in it because it was before Soul Eater was buffed.
Oh,
I don't
hey,
I don't know if he would run it.
knowing that the opponent's Three Wish, would you actually desert to the same side as them? Like normally you want to avoid sack, but Three Wish is going to be much weaker in the mid game.
Well, I think either way you want to set up your Doomdrake to kill his creature, and you want the archer to be shooting face if you're running Celis. So I think the tell for me would be
Yeah.
archer in front if you're running Celis, archer to the side if you're playing champions. So I think he's playing champions is my guess.
Mhm. He gets the free kill this way though, because he has Explore and Flashwind already, so he knows he can kill a three toughness creature with just the archer. So I'm not sure yet which he is. Like I think that's a reasonable line, even if you do have Zealous.
That's fair.
So this is kind of vulnerable to Wind Soldiers, which is why I stopped doing this. I lost too many archers. But I guess, well, I mean he knows Matthew's green yellow base, so I guess he knows Matthew might have Wind Soldiers, but not for a while.
Well, I mean, if he made a desert, it would be next turn.
That's
Okay,
true.
and I really like that he's developing all his creatures. He's saying, you know what, you have an archer, you're gonna be able to kill something. Let's just put everything and hope one thing sticks.
He's gonna kill literally everything, isn't he?
But yeah,
Yeah.
unfortunately, 3 creatures is not enough to stick. You need more.
Yeah. So
Uh,
you shoot the you shoot the
well, you kill Bone Collector first with your 4/4.
right. Hang on, no, that blocks the archer.
No,
You shoot
because the
the
archer
blue
can shoot the
right.
Bloom Sprite and you can Soul Drain the 1/1, which is the order you do it in. You just don't collect.
Where
Like
are you putting the Drake to
you
kill the
play
one?
Fnatic here. Doomdrake flies up. You Flash Wind it up, and then you Fnatic.
Okay, but you
Then
still
you
need
Soul Drain this, and you shoot up to kill Bloom Sprite. That's a full clear.
you're doing Drake standing where you want to shoot with archer. That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
So you shoot the blue spy first, then you fanatic flash winds to kill the bone click, then you soul drain.
Oh, but
Oh,
if you're doing
okay.
that, you can instead.
So Arianelle has found a different line, saying three to this.
Wait, that was
And
just.
he still gets to level three, so it's okay.
No, he can't.
Oh, he's out of
That was a lot worse, yeah.
okay. Um, and
Ooh, that was really rough for Arenali. Uh,
the punishment for being three wishes though is like Okay, so green red isn't a deck, but the general point of if it had two of each, or if it had another red by now, it's like Firestorm, they would just be backbreaking. I guess instead you have to desert now, right? Because you know the trade can happen.
No, I actually really like the mountain because you're saying, you know what, my best move for value is Firestorm, and so you just go
Actually,
for it.
yeah, no, no, you're right. The archer survives, so only the Doomdrake will be dead.
Or besides, all we know, he could just win Soldier Soul Drain and hit face. Very unlikely.
So as Arianella, what do you do here? Do you just draw, or would you make the desert now?
I think I would make the desert, mostly because you don't have the excess Faria yet.
Yeah, and the 3/2 jumps up one, I guess.
Maybe I would draw first actually, because you're really looking for an event. And you have like some neutral cards, and
So
Flashman's really nice.
Firestorm aside, Campfire would be pretty sick. Like, yeah, I guess just green yellow sack if you had Outland Ranger. The Campfire would be Drake, that would be sweet.
Yeah.
But
Seed Sower is actually a really nice card to get off the Bloom Sprite.
it's interesting that Arianella didn't move to 3/2. Does that mean he's going to double land and start collecting? Because otherwise you want to move it up so that it can step past the 1/3 without getting in the way.
Yeah, I think it's just a missed opportunity. So he can force between the walls and play the Seed Sower, or he can play it at home. I would personally like making the forest here to play it, but you're a 3-wish deck, so you don't really want to make 4 forest.
So would you save the Firestorm then?
Oh, actually, yeah, I would Firestorm this turn, never mind.
So
Firestorm
you
and Seed
Seed
Sower.
Sower. So Seed Sower goes there then.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, that's just the best turn. What am I
you do it
saying?
first and see if you can. You don't
Do
need a
you
mountain between the
do you
walls, right?
mountain here to force the forest here? No,
That
that's
might be
worse.
that might be good.
Well,
I don't hate it because you're not summoning anything off mountains, right? So you're gonna have to put something on the right hand side anyway. Okay,
okay.
so he's looking for even more value off his Firestorm.
The thing I like the most is how he developed the lands actually blocked getting the aggressive desert. So I actually really like that he was able to manipulate the RNG to be blocking, though actually it was 50-50 to get this or this spot. Okay.
If it got the other spot,
He would have had to double land in order to get these if it had made the forest
I
here.
guess he wouldn't have done.
Yeah.
So yeah, he just took a 50/50, like without too high a risk or reward, and he won it, so that's good.
Yeah, but the 50-50 could have been taken here, and then this could be a mountain for Firestorm.
Well, the mountain versus desert is something regardless.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think you play the Seed Sower up here if you're not doing Firestorm. So it's just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
do you think that Firestorm Seed Sower up here is better than Seed Sower back here, Desert?
I mean, waiting on the Firestorm is kind of cool because Arianella's position's quite boxed in. Like, especially when he did jump with the 3/2 before. It's going to take a while for the 3/2 to get into anything. This archer's not doing anything. Yeah, and Matthew gets
And
paid off for it.
yeah, that well done. One of my fears was that like the only thing that would get played to sort of play around Garridan, which is like what I would be thinking about if I was Arianelle, is Garridan and not Firestorm. I wouldn't play around Firestorm. Is I would only play something with 4 life past 2 creatures because you don't want to be vulnerable.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that was the problem though. Like, he already had 2 creatures out, but neither was doing anything. So he really wanted to sort of develop a creature that was useful, but doing so played into Firestorm. So
Yeah.
I actually think that was quite nicely identified by Matthew, and he only gave his opponent 1 mana. So yeah,
So
I like his line.
for Arianelle now, he could make a desert here to screw up double collect, or he could desert here. It just depends on whether he wants the defensive
Or
desert.
he could go and drop Kaleem.
Well, can't he?
Oh, yes,
11.
he can.
Oh no, he
Yeah,
can't.
right.
I'm
Wait,
lying.
no, you're
Oh wait, he can.
no, you're
Yeah,
right.
double Wind Soldier Kaleem.
Okay, is that good? I mean, I guess it's fine.
You spend 4 Feria to kill a 4/6. I think that's your ideal play because you also stop him from collecting. I think that's just the best option.
Yeah, it's not insane, but it's fine.
Yeah. I think Aranelli is going to most likely lose this. Like he's just so massively behind. Um,
Well,
and like the
I
big thing is Matthew has double Wind Soldier for Kaleem, so Matthew's
yeah,
going into a really good turn.
I mean, Arianelle is not too far behind in board. The problem is just that his opponent's playing three wishes and he's not. In the same way that if you're going equal over a long game with a Soul Eater deck, you're actually losing.
Fire Elemental.
Ah, this is a cool wishes. So we said it was sack, but we've actually not seen any sack outlets so far. We've just seen sack fodder. We've seen Bloom Sprite and Eldwood Helmet and Bone Collectors. So he's got to be sack based, but he's clearly playing more than just two colors, rather than the normal thing people have been doing, where they just play um, three wish is a two color deck with wish because it's insane.
Yeah, I mean running a Firestorm makes sense to run a Fire Alley because then you're just making it more consistent. You want that land development really badly. That said, you sometimes have really clunky hands like this. Last Nightmare, Firestorm in the same hand, and then like you draw Fire Alley after you make your third mountain. Bit awkward. Okay, and he's just gonna Last Nightmare off Kaleem. What do you think of that? Because you're now vulnerable to like Kaleem getting flash winded twice, or a movement trick and hitting your face.
I'm not too worried about it hitting face once, especially because he never took the square in front of his orb. So I mean, I guess that was a 50-50. But yeah, the fact he didn't take that land means that even if Kaleem hit face, he couldn't set up an aggressive desert. So it's kind of whatever, honestly.
Right now, Aranelli's trying to decide what desert placement is going to help him throughout the game, and I think he's right in assessing that this spot is more relevant than the bottom spot.
So he uses the campfire and only one wind soldier. That's cool because he's probably going to be able to double click with the other wind soldier. So I like that.
Well, he doesn't have land set up to double collect, though, with the Wind Soldier. So I would have thought he was going to double Wind Soldier because the Soul Drain's more useful to be hitting the opposite side.
I guess he gets kind of rewarded here because if he could have been left with Soul Drain Campfire and that wouldn't kill a Bone Collector.
Yeah. Oh, unless you're Cappuccino and you just top deck Wind Soldier.
Yeah. Would you make the desert between the will then? Because you already have two Wind Soldiers.
I
So
mean,
it's
it beats
reason.
drawing a card.
Yeah. It beats plus oneing as well.
Yeah.
It strictly beats plus oneing.
Yeah, I guess I would desert. Get the double collect in. I mean, this makes sense, but it's a little preemptive.
Mm. I guess he was just looking and going, there's no way I win four wishes come down.
Yeah.
And playing against someone who's blocking their wishes from behind is basically impossible.
Yep, not too big of a surprise. Um, you see this a bit more the higher up you go where players recognize the fact that they're just, in terms of tempo, way too far behind, and then the person that they're playing against has more late game scaling, so usually whenever that happens, you get these early concedes. Prophet of Tides in blue, so this is a really cool card to be running in blue.
Yeah, it's something I should test more because with the amount of archers going on. I guess it's kind of good and bad against Archer because it's really good prey for archers, but on the flip side, it's really good at preying on archers.
Yeah, and then it also is hit and miss against the red burn deck because it being one life is really bad sometimes, but then at the same time, getting your like phantasm that's in the back forward too can sometimes be game changer as well. What do you think of Arianelle's starting like? So this comes up mostly against burn decks where the blue player will start off with just double land and then lake. Um, because against 3-wish, the only thing you ever want to deploy in front of your orb is a battle toad, maybe. Otherwise, you
Mm,
would prefer everything getting deployed on the same lane, right?
I I don't know. I've actually seen Three Wish lose quite a lot to blue just triple collecting, so I don't mind it too much. Also, I think it's a lot less punishing when you don't have um windfalls because the big reason you double land at the start is because on turn three you have two lakes to the forward to click both windfalls, and you need to use both in one turn. Whereas if you don't have the windfall, you can afford to only play one thing a turn.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the bigger things I hated about it was the fact that he would have two lakes next to each other that were so far away from the opponent and just weren't good overall. But with the Prophet of Tides, it actually changes it in a way that it doesn't seem as bad now to have the lake in front of your orb.
Seems quite nice actually. So him going to the opposite side, it makes sense in terms of the immediate effect because his 3/1 would have to step up in range of the 1/3, and then if the opponent has a single sack effect, you're in trouble. But in general, going to the opposite side of a Firestorm player is something that's not great. Oh, Yak Attack. It's a sweet blue list.
Man, I don't even know what you want to do for Arnelli. I want to double land aggressively, but maybe with Yak Attack, he wants to do one land to collect with the Prophet of Tides and then one land over here.
So if you do that, you're set up to double collect, and then next turn you drop a lake on the left, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, and then
Arianelle,
it would be
he's
like here
he's
for
getting a
Archon.
lot of mana, but he can't constrict his opponent really. He doesn't have enough lands in position. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but yeah, it's going to take him a while to spend all his mana. I'm not sure though. You're right. It's weird.
Whereas my line was to double
Yeah,
land
I
like
guess
this and then Archon here
I
and
guess
be a
just
bit more
double land
aggressive.
defensively is more land efficient, so it lets you spend your hand faster.
Oh, you can Archon this turn with this line.
Is that better?
And Mochi this turn?
Oh, maybe because then you can.
Well, the downside is now you're forced to move here to collect, whereas with my line you could deploy the Archon here in case Bone Collector had stepped down,
mm,
because you don't want to move into a spot where Bone Collector can hit you.
Well, he saw a lot of his opponent's deck, and there weren't any buffs, so maybe he's comfortable with it.
Did he see any sack units? Because
He,
I don't think we actually saw Wranglers get
he
played in
saw,
last.
yeah, but he saw Bloomspite, Elderwood Hermit, so I think you have to assume they have something.
That's fair. So it looks like Matthews just sort of grabbed like a deck just filled with what he considers to be just high value cards and slapped it into 3-wish. And I
Wait,
mean, yeah, these are really high value
wait,
turns.
that's a Firebringer.
That is a fire burner, which doesn't seem too weird, right? Like, yeah, he's running Bone Collector and like Hermit and um, Bloom Sprite, but he's also running Fire Elementals, Wranglers, which is a double proc, and
I mean, it doesn't feel wrong, but I don't
there
think
was
you can
some
say it
other
doesn't
weird
feel
attack
weird.
creature.
It seems really weird, just in a good way. Um, I mean, it kind of makes sense. Like, when Wishes originally came out, this is about around when sort of Hate Seed and stuff were coming out as well. And I remember on Thorman's stream, like, he was wishing people's Hate Seeds and Firebringers and actually making bigger versions than the opponents.
Yep.
So with his Sack Free Wish, because Demon Wrangler is actually huge with this for this sort of thing because it generates two procs on its own.
Yeah, I mean, also everyone was running like 3 Wind Soldier, 3 Death Wish Ghoul at the time because those cards were just staples to every deck that was 3 Wish. So you had a lot of triggers on Firebrainer.
But yeah, that's cool. So going late, I guess he probably doesn't have Soul Eater. There's no way he's supporting all of that, right? Like he can't have Firebringer and Free Wish and Soul Eater.
Do you see his forest count? No, I'm just making fun. Well,
Siren Golem, let's go. Oh,
okay, so
there's
it's
the
Iridan
AoE.
and Firestorm. So multiple AoE mechanics. And that makes sense, right? Because if you're playing back like this or have a slow development deck and you're playing against a deck like Yellow, archers and things like that can be really punishing to your deck. So by having Garridan and Firestorm, it seems like he's kind of found this almost sweet spot of being able to live against it.
Might work, yeah. And he has the Nightmares as well, which means he doesn't. Like, one of the big problems is even if you efficiently deal with the archers by ignoring them for a while and then AoEing, you can just die to Zealous. But if you have the last Nightmares, you you know, even if it's a sort of 30-30 Zealous, it still dies for 6 mana, right?
Yeah, and likewise against red, he's not just going to die to a 12-12 Firebringer. Not that those are common anymore. In fact, I think the biggest Firebringer I've seen in like the past month was like an 8-8. Or maybe it was
I've
like a
seen,
10-10
yeah,
was the
I
biggest.
think like 10, 10, 11, 11, yeah, but not really higher than that. Biggest solo each I've seen though has been like 18, 18. Just saying.
I saw a screenshot of Donkey having like a 30-31. It was
Oh
ridiculous.
yeah, because he's running yak attacks, right?
Yeah.
I like this play from Matthew. He's really managed to isolate the right hand side, so there's no way his opponent will get value out of it before
Do you
Garrett comes down.
do you see this turn that's about to happen though? He can windfall, double land, yak attack, have one step up, one get played here, one get played here,
And
hit
then you
one
just
in, then banquet your 6-6 to be a
doesn't need to
7-7,
bank
kill
it.
that, and
Right?
have the other yak finish off the 5-2.
He doesn't need to bank it. He could just kill it. But I mean, but maybe he should bank it because is that even so good though when the opponent's about to drop back Garrett?
I think you want
I,
your Archon to develop jump,
oh yeah, I
and
guess if you have
I
a
don't.
7-7 with jump, that's really good. Turns out against 6-6s. Yeah, I like that line. Let's see if Arianelle agrees.
I think the big thing is if you don't banquet and you do that turn, um,
Yeah, you get completely destroyed by Garridan, and the opponent's
yeah,
just gone into like 11 mana and just dropped a mountain. So you have to be thinking Garridan. Oh my god, is he gonna time out before he can do this?
no, you want time out. Okay, so it doesn't actually matter because he's
Yeah,
banqueting the kill order.
you don't play Lossy, right? Yeah.
I don't know if that's true because your opponent doesn't win if they Garridan, and you're
They
still ahead if you Lore Thief.
they still have 4 mana. I'm not sure. Like I'm not sure that's true, especially because they might have Ground Shakers or Ciphers or something in their deck.
Yeah, I think if the Lore Thief could be deployed next to the well, I would have done it.
Yeah,
It's just because it can only be deployed here, I wouldn't.
yeah. Well, it was too much you played this turn. You could have scooted up there, but yeah, there was nowhere really useful to play this. Now playing it's just wrong. There's nowhere useful to put it, and you can't spend the last 3 mana even if you draw something.
Yeah. Currently, Matthew's up one game, right?
Um, let's see who is up. Yes. Okay,
Water
so match.
Elemental.
Oh. So this is. I wonder if he has Mystic Beast as well with this more aggressive version.
Do you draw regularly, or do you Lore Thief first? I want to draw regularly, but I'm not sure if Lore Thief lets you do anything.
I want to make lands. I think there's a desperate shortage of good lake spots on the map.
Are you thinking like lake here, or are you thinking aggressive lake?
Like maybe aggressive, maybe on your own well, just something that's not directly in front of your face.
Yeah, just one more spot anywhere not over here.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well,
I mean,
I mean, with Water Alley, you develop a land. So, like, I was thinking Water Alley Lore Thief now is still the play. And I think I want the spot to be here for a Lore Thief. So it'd be Water
yeah,
Alley,
down for
Lore
that.
Thief.
Do you what about the 7-4 positioning? Do you jump over when you kill this 1-1 so that you can track down Garradon? You do, right?
Oh, this is interesting. He doesn't have time to Water Alley now.
Mm.
Alright, looks like he's gonna pass on it. And I mean, passing on Water Alley isn't necessarily a bad play, because
Yeah.
if your opponent does something like Ground Shaker, you want to be able to banquet. So,
I mean, the only thing I'm unhappy with is the fact his 7-3 is there rather than 2 to the right, because this Garradon's just gonna like cut a sway through his creatures.
yeah. If the
But I
Archon had
guess
jumped over, it would have been much
actually,
better, I think.
well, I guess he can go for Yak Attack this way, because he gains 6 mana, goes to 10, so maybe it's okay. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, he got Hermit from Bloomsprite. I'm trying to work out whether
Yes.
that's like amazing or
I
okay.
mean, if you have a sack outlet, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So Master said that also point for 3 wishes, like, well, I desperately need lands, but on the flip side, I'm hemorrhaging, like, well control all over the board.
Okay, so Hermit and Village Elder coming down makes sense. Is this vulnerable to Yak Attack? Oh, it
Yeah.
is! Yak Attack's gonna do wonders! Unless
Oh,
the Fireburner
wait,
comes down.
as a 4-4. Interesting choice for Matthew, if he does it or not. If he doesn't though, yeah, he's
This
gonna
Yak
get Yak.
Attack's going to be insane. Oh, and then he's got Beirut follow up for the following turn.
Well, it's probably getting Nightmare. Yeah, Yak's a really good here, I guess. Well, he only gets to keep one, but you probably know your. Actually, no, you do have to be careful because you've seen that the opponent plays Firestorm as well.
Well, I mean, two of the Yaks are dying. Only one of them's living.
Yeah, please lake, Arianelle. You need more lakes in good position. Please make a lake.
Yeah, yeah. So, Lake being made here looks to be the
Yeah,
best.
and then you step one south of the hermit with your yak, I think, so that you have the option to collect with it.
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
know what you do with the 7-3. You could leave it
Yeah,
to collect.
I think it stays where it is because your opponent's on two deserts. They want to win Soldier from this tile. If you jump
Yeah,
over, they
okay.
can win Soldier. So,
Yeah, you're right.
I think standing on it's actually better.
I also like that. I think he's assuming the opponent can't play anything else off red, which I think is a pretty good assumption. Um, wait. Okay.
I don't like this as much because now your opponent's like guaranteed to get the
Yeah,
value out of Hermit.
yeah. I think I'd prefer to have killed the hermit. It's just such a big difference whether they get a free Elderwood Embrace or not. And in fact,
Yeah.
he gets to choose exactly what gets embraced.
And this doesn't set up Arianelle to Beirut, so like it's pretty likely your opponent can 3-wish before you kill him, which is gonna heal him up a bit, so I think this is how Arianelle can lose, is by all-inning too early.
I mean, yeah, it's hard to tell if you haven't played against Freewish enough because like you just read the card and go, wow, it's like a 7 mana difference. There's no way I can come back from that. But actually, you can if you have board control before they wish. You can completely just kill them in a long game. So if you just kill the 1-1, stop collection, stop the chance failure with embracing, set up to triple or quad collect, deny the opponent doing anything because you have a 7-3 jumping around. Like, yeah, you can totally out-collect them and just win. Especially when they're getting all these blue cards that aren't very good if you don't have board control.
So Matthew's looking at Last Nightmare, though that doesn't really look too great. I guess it's his best turn though.
It's interesting. Well, I guess it makes sense. He's going really hard for wishes, but like he doesn't actually have them yet, so it might just it might fail kind of catastrophically.
Yeah. I'm looking at this Beirut in hand, like, no, don't use your Last Nightmare. But I don't think I would play around the fact that if Arianelle would have passed, he could Beirut on the following turn. I think you just had to deal with the Archon as much as you don't like
Yeah.
to. Now, as Arianelle, are you thinking you just like for sure pass because you need to Beirut?
I was thinking Water Elemental because so you Water Elemental go to 1, next turn you can triple collect, go to 6, so if you +1 now, +1 next turn, you could Beru.
Well, on the bright side, Matthew has a Fire Alley before he went to Three Mountains, so he'll be able to get value out of it. But the Air Alley came a turn too late.
Yeah, Matthew's definitely got an interesting hybrid list here. So he's playing Sack, but the only uh Iona's cool. And actually really good against blue.
Yeah, I mean, Iona's good against mid-range red too, because they have to Cyphers it most of the time.
Ground shaker.
Yeah.
Oh wow, and he's gonna probably get the helmet buff on it. So I guess Matthew just hits face and drops Beru then. It just looks like the logical conclusion to his line.
2, 4, so it ends up being 6 power. Yeah. Well, 7, because you get 1 attack as well. Yeah, Beirut would stick. Man, you just lose the Last Nightmare though. It's like actually just game over if you do that.
Well, you have to at this point. Like I
Well, you
think.
could Phantasm hit face and that sets up lethal with Banquet.
Oh, that's true.
I think I prefer the Phantasm play,
Don't you
because it
still
sets up...
just lose to Last Nightmare?
Yeah, never mind. Both lose the Last Nightmare. In which case, Beirut's better against not having last... No, wait.
Oh,
I
actually,
can't tell
maybe it's
which is
not.
better against not having Last
Yeah,
Nightmare.
hang on. So to survive, he either needs to taunt you, but you've played against him 2 games now and he hasn't dropped a taunt, and he doesn't have any Bloom Spike cards, or he needs to kill both Phantasms, or kill one and triple block himself. Wait, yeah, and you have enough to Banquet plus offer +1. Or he needs to heal, but he can't heal. He could Water Elemental. No, he still can't do it because he only goes. Yeah, okay, he could technically Water Elemental 3-wish, I guess. Is that something to play around? Have we? We haven't seen a Water Elemental from Matthew yet, which makes sense because although Arianelle hasn't seen it, the Elementals Matthew's playing will buff Firebringer. Oh, but this still set. No, this isn't quite. This is much harder to. I don't know.
This is really easy to block. The thing is, like, there's no way Aranelli's going to be able to hit face, because he can just block with what's on board, and Aranelli
Oh
can't stop the
God.
block.
Well, congratulations to Matthew. So, looks pretty game. Well, Arianelle has a full cost Wave Crash, and Matthew doesn't actually have the ability to play Wish yet, so if he puts the Wave Crash between the worlds and sets up double clicking again, maybe he can still do this.
Is that better than just Mochi between the wells and just wait? Because you want to come back with Windfall. He's only played like one Windfall, I
That's
think.
fair. There are a few Mochi between the worlds, the 3/5 will step down, and then next turn, so your
Well,
Mochi moves
then
on
you
to
can Phantasm if you
Oh, that's true.
were to have Mochi'd.
Wait, he was on 4 mana, so if you
Yeah,
plus one, yeah.
so he's at 1, goes to 4, 5, 6, plus 1, Phantasm, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Kind of like that. And then if he did actually draw the Windfall, it would have been insane. He's played one Windfall so far, so he still has two.
Yeah. So,
So,
what's he doing with this line? He's saying, you know what, fear my 7/7 that could get banqueted if I had 5 Feria, but 8 damage doesn't lethal, so...
I mean, if he had one more mana, I think this probably does win the game, because, okay, it's not lethal, but if there's an 8/8 protection hitting Matthew to 1, how the hell does Matthew kill it in one turn?
Right. This might also stop Matthew from collecting.
Oh, I think if I was Matthew, I would collect and block the well with Iona. Or maybe, well, maybe you need to play a red creature. I'm not sure. Oh, that's interesting. So, so I guess Matthew. Actually, yeah, that's better than what I was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so Matthew's gonna win 2-0.